Hey everyone, this is Walter, and we're back here today with more content from Reddit. Today we'll just be covering stories about various relationships. I might be using any number of actual subreddits like Reddit Relationships and Reddit Am I the Asshole. They don't have to be romantic relationships, but I'm writing the intro before I pick out the stories, so I don't know what I'm going to use yet. Let's just get started with relationship problems from Reddit. This first one is from Am I the Asshole, and it's pretty funny. Am I the asshole for going to the American Girl doll cafe alone? I'm 31 male. Years ago, I went to the American Girl cafe for my niece's birthday. I didn't really want to go, but while I was there, I ordered the crab cakes and they were actually amazing. I've been thinking about them regularly since then. I have no interest in the dolls, just the crab cakes. Because I figured most people aren't going out right now, I decided to go back to get crab cakes, hoping it would be an empty room with just me eating my lunch in peace. While it wasn't as crowded, I still felt odd because it was fairly well populated with little girls. I just kept to myself and ordered. The waitress asked when the rest of my party would be joining me. I said I was just there to eat by myself. I could tell this disturbed her. But whatever, it's legal to eat at a cafe. I just like the food there. Well, after I ate crab cakes and 4 glasses of sparkling brut, amazing by the way, the manager came out and said other patrons felt uncomfortable by my presence. I asked if it was because I was a man. They couldn't answer me. Clearly they assume any man in the American Girl tea room is creepy. I explained I'm just a fan of the crab cakes, not even the other food there to be honest. The cake sucks, and I wanted to enjoy a relaxing lunch. They eventually made me leave. Of course I still had to pay, but this feels like discrimination. I was slightly tipsy but not drunk. I am thinking of returning at a later date if I can find maybe a single mom and her daughter who would be willing to go with me. I'm in the process of dating a single mom with a 6-year-old daughter, and I'd be lying if I said this wouldn't be a perk. But to be honest, the whole experience ruined the restaurant for me. Am I crazy? I feel like I did nothing wrong. Okay, so he didn't exactly do anything wrong, if you take his word for it. But neither did the cafe. For reference, let me show you what this place looks like. Wow, I would not feel comfortable sitting at this place and getting tipsy. It's like a little place for you to have a tea party with your daughter and her doll. And then you look over and see this dude on his phone eating crab cakes and drinking wine, having a good old time. Let me know what you think about this one. Him trying to find a little girl to bring with him is just bizarre. This next one actually is from Reddit Relationships for once. My 28 female girlfriend, 30 female, is a huge people pleaser, and it's ruining our relationship. Hi, my girlfriend and I are in a serious relationship and live together. She is a huge people pleaser. At first I loved her selflessness, but then as the rose-colored glasses came off, I realized this is actually a fault of hers. Here are a few examples. For a whole year of our relationship, my girlfriend woke up/stayed up every single night at 12 a.m. to pick her friend up from work because she didn't have a car. This friend rarely contributed gas money as well. Keep in mind that my girlfriend gets up for work at 6 a.m. and has poor health, so this was very disruptive for her. Our relationship suffered because this favor made my girlfriend much more sleepy and irritable and changed her entire sleep schedule, which made us have less time together. She doesn't do it anymore because she works walking distance from her home, but it's an example. Another time, in the middle of us being intimate, she finished and was about to take care of me after. She checked her phone and asked if it was appropriate to drop off snacks to a friend's house before we continued because her friend didn't feel like leaving the house. This is just the beginning, and I could literally list a million situations where I felt like I wasn't anywhere on the list of priorities, but for clarity's sake I will leave it at that. I have friends too, and I would do almost anything for them, but nothing that would disrupt my entire life and relationship. I don't think I am a difficult person to please, but this keeps happening. I am apparently not the first girlfriend to have a problem with this, and even her mom has pointed out that she perhaps being a bit too giving. Her friends are even quite toxic. A few of them are close with my girlfriend's abusive ex. I can tell that they are using my girlfriend because she is one of the only people in her friend group that owns a vehicle. They practically treat my girlfriend as a taxi service and only want to spend time with her when it involves some type of favor, and it's never, hey, come over to my house, it's, hey, can you take me to this store? Oh cool, you need something from there. Let's run errands together all day in your car. If her friends want to do something, they invite me and my girlfriend, complain about having no money, and my girlfriend picks up the tab. Keep in mind, we are both broke as hell too. Also, keep in mind that these girls are in their 30s or late 20s. No offense, but they should be a lot further in life than they are right now. I don't want to be the partner who hates their girlfriend's friends, but some of these women are painfully obvious users. My girlfriend very much so lets them walk all over her. It's painful to watch, and every time I've ever so gently tried to bring it up, it ends up in a huge fight caused by defensiveness. She constantly says I just want everyone to be happy, but fails to realize that this philosophy is actually driving a huge wedge between us. Sometimes I feel like leaving. Oftentimes I feel like I'm the other woman, and my girlfriend and I and all of her friends are in some kind of fucked up, unhealthy polyam relationship. I stay because I love her, and every once in a while she gives me 100%, or a healthy amount, of her attention, and it's wonderful. She can be an incredibly caring partner, but I see less and less of this now, and it's only becoming on my birthdays or anniversaries. People pleasers don't try to make people happy as much as they try not to make people mad. They hate conflict. Their motivation is not bringing joy, but staying out of trouble and avoiding a constant feeling of guilt. They often feel terrible about nothing. They are easy prey for abusers and narcissists. I have no advice, just know that this runs deep. It's usually a lifelong pattern that's hard to break out of. Ugh, this sounds awful, and if she's 30, she could have potentially been doing this for a very long time. I don't think I'd put up with my partner behaving like this at all, let alone for years. I do like to be inclusive, though. It's not every day we have a lesbian story. Probably. Okay, so now we're going to cover a real tumultuous story. It's from Reddit 2X Chromosomes, which seems to be a place for women to post their perspectives and stories. He flipped on me, left me alone in the woods, and is now trying to apologize. Long story as short as I can make it. We went camping. It has been a long time since I could. I was so excited, had everything packed, even meal prepped food for dinner so it was easy to warm up if we had a few too many. Well, he did, and it got ugly. I fell asleep in my hammock around 3. We had a plan, make dinner at 5, then go out and get more wood because we were almost out. When I laid down, he said he was going to go forage for dead wood. Great. I wake up at 5 and there's this huge fire he built. All proud with a puffed up chest, he's like, "See all I gathered?" I look at the ground and there's nothing. I ask if everything on the fire is what he found and he says yes. What the fuck? I tell him I can't put a grate over that. 3 feet high with logs that hang over the side with 12-foot flames. And he loses it. Decides to leave, angry. Only thing I said was, who does this, as he's busy tearing up the tent to get his shit. He dumps the one cooler he owned onto the ground and straight up left me there. No car, no light, he took them out of malicious intent, and my phone was dead on a non-electric site. It was getting dark, so I had to scurry and get the food I could fit into my cooler before the animals came out. Jar of pickles shattered, put the dry food, bread, chips, etc. into my tent. Dark came quickly. I was surrounded until dawn by a dozen raccoons, and they weren't playing. Standing on their back legs, hissing at me, lunging for my feet. I ended up back to a tree, fighting those fuckers all night with a stick on fire. There are bears in those woods, and that's my biggest phobia. I was terrified. Crying and panicking, I heard a growl in the woods. I just stood there frozen. I was so damn scared, y'all. This son of a tried to show up at 7 a.m. the next day, telling me, "If you apologize for the mean way you treated me, I'll take you home." Bitch, now that the day broke, you want to help? I told that bastard to kick rocks and waited for my mom to come around noon. I left this site with 2 days paid still on it. Wasn't going to fight those fucks again. And fuck that bear I heard. I have completely cut contact with him, but he owes me money. I do have a bunch of his expensive disc golf bullshit that he left here, which he's not getting until he pays me back. Petty or not, I spent like $600 on everything to do with this trip, and he paid $0 because he lost his job. I was just trying to do something nice for him because I badly wanted to go. Instead, I get left in the dark with no communication device, no light, and have to fight off wild animals. No, asshole, you can't come sweeping in and fix it. This will never be fixable. Sorry for the rant, but I didn't know where else to post this. Fuck that dude. Edit, I've called the police on him and his officer. Edit 2, got a rabies shot just a few hours ago. I seem to be just fine. Thank you so much for the awards. I'm a bit overwhelmed by all the replies, but I'm trying to get to everyone, and I sincerely appreciate all of your kind words. Thank you to everyone. I am glad she didn't even consider putting up with it. I'd like to think that no one would, but I know that's not true. I like how this guy rolls out all drunk and angry when it's getting dark. I bet he was the kind of person you'd love to drive behind, huh? Anyway, we have a pretty happy update, at least for the author. Update. Dude who left me in the woods is now in jail. His probation officer somehow found my post. I gave her proof, and she went and picked him up. He has 5 charges. 1. Not staying at his confirmed housing. 2. Under the influence. 3. Assault and battery. 4. Assault with a deadly weapon. 5. Endangering the welfare of a disabled person. I have rheumatoid arthritis and I suffer from seizures due to a brain tumor. So yeah, he's fucked. And I'm happy over this. He deserves to spend his time in jail. Please check my profile if you don't know the story. Success! I'm not really the most educated on this, so let's read a relevant comment from someone who is. Hi, there are a lot of good comments here, but here's something else from someone who's been in an abusive relationship before. He didn't just get angry for no reason. He decided to try and teach you a lesson because you called him out. He didn't want to rescue you in the morning. He made him taking you home conditional. He wanted you to admit that you were in the wrong. He fucking knew that you would be unsafe and your life would be in danger at night, so he wanted to scare you into obeying him. It's about control, and this is a very typical pattern. Why does he do that? Help me understand this better, and trust me, I know that pattern of behavior from me and others. Please report him wherever you can. He would have let you die not only that night, but also the day after if you hadn't had a plan B or apologized to him for nothing. This is something abusers do, hurt you and put you in danger, then gaslight you into apologizing for it to keep you under their thumb. This man is dangerous, and you're doing every woman on earth a favor if there is at least something, somewhere in writing, that he does shit like this. If not for future you, think of the poor next girl he's going to do things like this to. I would probably beat the shit out of a casual acquaintance for leaving me in the middle of nowhere like this, and I'm not even concerned about animals. Imagine your partner doing it to you. This guy goes home and passes out and leaves her to experience hell all night, and then he expects an apology. And for what? Well anyway, let me know what you think, but that's about all the time I have for you today. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, please give it a like. Apparently we can't even see dislikes anymore, thanks YouTube. If you have something to say, let me hear it in the comments. I will be reading those tonight at least. If you're new here and want more of the same, consider subscribing, it really helps me out. Now it's time to shout out my patrons. First of the month is a horrible time to do this, but oh well, let's go. Jimmo. Alatuna Dan. Man, this guy was my patron before on my old channel like years ago. I vaguely remember. Enui Blue. Levon. Maxo11X. Chris Sturman. MDB 3000. Bumbus McDunga. Yeah, that's fun to say. Welcome. Amanda Gillies. Cho. Daniel Delapena. Deborah Douglas. Dr. A. Fin Yi. Horatio T. Kitty Sparkles. Clipper. Ouroboros. Rob Sop. Sandyman. Spoonie the Rogue. V stands for. William Ash. Jacob K. Camper Supreme. Megan Breeze. Psychic Kumquat. Alex Anakin. Alan Fang. Welcome. Knit1 Code 2. Lil Spoon. Ms. Mayhem. Staples, aka Jerry Yeet. Ben. Esperova. Francois Tremblay. Myopa Game. Nick Lucarelli. And Petulant Panda. These are, of course, the people who help me by supporting me directly, and I really appreciate it. I actually have a few things I promised and now have to do, including Russell Greer's book and maybe ending the Chili Thread video. I might even talk about low tax. If you haven't heard, low tax finally got out of paying his child support, but probably not the way he wanted to. Well anyway, have a great night everyone, and if you've ever been to the American Girl Cafe, let me know if the crab cakes are really that amazing. I'm not a creep, I swear.